everybody. It's Asia from Rare Radar, and I have some special guests with me today. Everybody, introduce yourselves one by
one. Hi, I'm Jessica. Y'all remember me from the last video that we did with J. Cole.
Period. All right, and I'm Jordan. Yeah, I'm Jordan, and this is my first appearance on here, so it's gonna be cool. Also, photographer for Rare Radar too.
Yep.
Been around for a minute for sure.
Period. I'm Erica. I'm the host and producer of the Rare Radar podcast, the Gray Area podcast. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts, shameless plug. And I've also been with Rare Radar for about a year or two now. So I've been a part of the crew for a little bit, and I'm excited to be here.
Yes. So today's topic, we will be talking about women celebrating their sexuality in music. I know all you guys heard the song WAP that caused a lot of controversy. Yeah, so honestly, what was your first thoughts about WAP and when it came out? What did you think about it? Do you think it was a good song?
So here's the thing, right? So when I first heard that Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi was coming out with something, I was like, "Ooh, okay, we finna be lit, all the stallions be out here." And then I heard the song and I was like, okay, not what I expected, but it was cool. Like the more I listen to it, the more and more I like it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it wasn't what I expected at first. I think I expected what Cardi and the City Girls did with Twerk. I feel like that's what I expected from them. Yeah. But it was cool. It just wasn't what I expected, but it was cool.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like Cardi B's first verse was very subpar, but second verse she came hard. But Megan slid all the way through it.
Oh man!
But I really appreciated the visuals. I wish that we could hear the visual with the dirty version. That would make me appreciate it more. Because the water scene when they was dancing, that was hella fire to me. But I just like the entire rollout and the fact that they their team is actually the ones who put them together and stuff. So that was pretty cool. But I do feel like it didn't have that impact as Twerk. But it's not a bad song. But it's not the best,
That video was everything, and Megan's verse was everything too.
Yeah. The visuals took it.
Oh my god.
I was gonna say, actually, the first time I heard it, was actually the best time to hear a song in general was in the car. So when I was listening to it in the car, I was like, okay, this is a vibe. I really messed with it. I mean, I only listened to it once, so I can't give a whole breakdown how I thought about their verses. But as far as the song, it sounded really good. Nothing really bad about it from what I heard anyway from that first listen. Sure.
Yeah. Personally, I heard the clean version. I didn't even know what WAP meant. So
yeah, that too. Because WAP did not mean what I thought it was gonna mean. I thought it was just WAP. I thought it
was WAP.
Together before the song came out, I was like, they gotta be talking about that. I don't know what else they would have been talking about.
No, I had no idea.
Yeah,
I had no idea. So I was listening to the clean version without even knowing that there was a dirty version, and I was actually loving the clean version. I mean, I like the beat. I'm a very I love beats, so I don't know. I like the song personally. I think the visuals really took it over the top for me, and that collab, we've always been waiting for that collab, so I think it was definitely legendary.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it was interesting to see that because with the whole Cardi B and Nicki Minaj beef at first, and then to know that Megan was kind of cooped up and hanging with Nicki Minaj a while ago, and so it was interesting. That actually surprised me. I ain't gonna lie, because dang, okay, all right. So Megan, there ain't no static between them, so that was cool to see actually, for real. See them click up.
Yeah, and I feel like that's another thing. Just as far as women, people expect you to pick sides when it's beef with girls. Men, it's okay for you to collab with different people, but it's Nicki, so you gotta pick a side because that's usually how it works for her. So I wonder what she thought about the song. I mean, I know she's pregnant right now, but I wonder what she thought about it. I mean, y'all know Cardi had gave her credit, as far as what she did in the industry with one of her videos or her interview. I think it was with Breakfast Club or something. But yeah, I wonder what the hell. I mean, it'll be fire if they all did a song together. Cause what was the name? Motorsport.
Yeah, for sure.
Motorsport was fire. That song was fire. I would love for them to do more songs together. But Yeah, they definitely have a crazy history.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something else I was gonna say, like regards to like the visuals, I really appreciate how they dropped the song and the visuals at the same time. I really don't like when artists like you drop the song first and the visuals later, or like vice versa. I appreciate when artists like do both, like either in the same day or like the same exact second, like they did. So I appreciate that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. It definitely made him worth the wait because they was hyping it up that whole week. I was like,
Yeah.
what is this? People was buying vinyls before the song even came out.
Yeah.
Right.
That
That
was
was a lot.
But a lot of people didn't like the song. Obviously, we saw like, well, I don't know if you guys saw, but it was like people in like the government saying that this song should be banned. We shouldn't be
Okay.
teaching our kids this, and da 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 da. So, like, what are your thoughts about like celebrities having influence on children and things like that, or just like censoring their music in regards to because of what the message may send, especially when it comes to women, though, you know? What are y'all
Yeah.
thoughts about that?
Well, I think that we're in 2020
Mhm.
and music has been vulgar since before we were even thought of. So it was kind of
Absolutely.
disrespectful, I think, to the hip hop culture for people to have, like, outside of our race to have an opinion on different lyrics, and even in our like race for people to say, this is like disrespectful to women and children and stuff like that. First of all, when you look at a song, it has rated R. So you know that you can either listen to it or not listen to it. If you're listening to it, I know when I was younger, I was listening to Trina and Khalees and all this stuff, the Milkshake and all that stuff. I was definitely one of those kids that listened to it, and my mom I got in trouble. But I think it's just a part of growing up. It's music. You have the choice to listen to it. You listen to it, you go about your day. You don't let it stick with you. It's just a song.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for people to, especially in the government, to say that this is, disrespectful and disgusting, it's a song. You take it as it is. It's like hypothetical. It's not something that has to be so serious.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And it's women having fun. Like, men have been talking about all this stuff for so long.
Period. That part.
Yeah. Just to speak a little bit on that, and a little bit to your point, because I grew up on those same songs, kind of where it was rare back then, but like in the early 2000s, mid 2000s ish, it was rare. But you heard those songs like My Neck, My Back. You know what I'm saying? Because listening to that as kids, we was, vibing to it. So I think what really surprised me throughout this whole situation was this like big culture shock behind it. And I was like, people, been listening to this type of music for a very long time. So that's just really interesting how people reacted
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
Jordan, I would have the question for you. Like, as a man, how do you feel like, as a man, how do you feel like, as like women expressing themselves sexually, like, how would you feel like if your girlfriend did that? Do you like disagree with that? Agree with it? Like, how would you feel as a man? Like, do you think that women should censor themselves? We're in the OnlyFans culture.
So are you
What are your
asking?
thoughts?
For sure. I guess I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I'll come clean. Like maybe if my girlfriend was a rapper and she was expressing her sexuality in that manner, I ain't gonna lie. I might feel a little bit of discomfort with that because it's like, dang, you're so open about it. Because me personally, this is me though, because I'm not trying to project myself on other people. That's why I don't really give like a super strong opinion about what women do. But I'm a private person, so like, you ain't gonna hear me talking about that too much in songs. If I was a writer myself or a musician myself, you wouldn't hear me talking about it. So but I feel like if women want to talk about it, they can. I don't see a problem with it, especially if you have on the same side of that coin where men are talking about it. Like You got men like the Migos. You got men like Yo Gotti, Gucci, NBA YoungBoy. They all talk about this stuff on their songs openly and receive, well, if they receive any backlashes from people that are coming from, religious backgrounds or something like that, where they say, oh, you guys are demeaning women and all of that. That's kind of the negative connotation. But other than that, it just, when normal people are listening to it, you know, I don't see why people are complaining if, you listening to rappers that's rapping about their sexuality openly. You feel me? So,
Right.
I mean, I don't see a problem with it, in my opinion, but that's just me.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, I think for me, well, going back to the, how people like saying I mean to children. So I grew up very different. I actually grew up very religious. I'm Christian. So like I grew up listening to like Kirk Franklin and like Mary Mann, stuff like that. Like I wasn't listening to like no Trina and all that stuff like that when I was a kid. But I feel like it's really unfair for people to be like, oh, like their children watching you, because they didn't go into it for that. Like they don't deserve that pressure that people put onto them because they're not going into it for that. And I feel like naturally, yeah, like some young people might, look up to them because that happens naturally, but they didn't go into it to be a role model to your kids. Like that's your job as a parent. You were supposed to be the role model and to teach them what's right and wrong and all that stuff. Cardi B, Megan, and everybody else in the music industry or anybody in the entertainment industry, period, that is not their responsibility. So I feel like that's unfair for people to put that responsibility and that pressure on them because that's not what they were going into it for, especially like Megan and Cardi B of all people. Like they're not going into it to be a good role model for your kids. They're talking about like real life stuff, sexuality, all that stuff. So I mean, if you don't want your kids listening to it, that's your call as a parent. You know what I mean? And like I wasn't growing up how I grew up, I wasn't allowed to watch and listen to a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? That's the call you make as a parent. But don't put that on Cardi B and Megan. Like that's not their fault or their responsibility. So I think it's unfair people to do that. But also going into what all you guys have, everybody else said, like men have been rapping about that kind of thing for the dawn of time. Like Slava My Knob is a really popular song that people like know all the words to. So and it's
That's
like
our song, our friend's song.
that is too. That is I can say like the whole one. And like you know what I mean, like that, the Yang Yang twins, like come on man, like let's not act like men have not been saying the whole thing, but now when women say it, it's a problem now. Like, come on, man. And then also, you're blocking your blessings, low-key. Like, can you imagine if your girl goes out for brunch and like she's off mimosas, you come back singing WAP? Like, that sounds like a good time. You're blocking your blessings. You're blocking your blessings.
I have something to say. When I was younger, I was just listening to the beat. Like, I had no idea what half of these things meant. Like, now listening to like different songs by different artists from the early 2000s, mid 2000s, now I'm like, oh, that's what they were talking about. Like I had no idea. So I think kids listening to it, and I appreciate Megan and Cardi B putting the clean version on YouTube because it gives people a chance just to listen to the music without having to overanalyze the lyrics. And for people who have to pay for Apple Music, Spotify, all of those things, can go on and listen to the dirty version on their own time at their own will, So, I mean, YouTube is free, it's open for everybody. So for them to put that up there, I feel like they should cut them some slack because, they didn't have to put the clean version up there. They could have just left it completely dirty and just put a rated R thing on there. So I feel like people are just going a little bit too hard on them. It's music at the end of the day. We're not new to this. Cardi B and Megan did not start this whole, nasty gangster rap. Like it's already been in the game years before. So I feel like people need to relax a little bit. Just listen to the music, enjoy the music. I think it's really easy for men and different political figures to really pick on women. I think it's very easy for them to, especially Black women, they don't like to see us win. So for them to, look at a song when Cardi B came out with Bacon Head,
you feel me?
Yellow,
She bad. Like I'm saying,
like so many different things. Like just because now they're talking about something different, like what's the difference between the music that was already released before and now? So I think it's really like we're an easy target for them to, you know, pick on us and be like, WAP this, WAP that, like, stop, like, that's stupid. But like, why now? Like, why? I mean, it's probably already been.
Answer that.
Oh, let us know. Let us know.
I can answer that. It's not really to go against you, but I think the difference is back then, when we're talking years ago, it wasn't as many women rapping back then. Now we have an influx of women rappers, so it's like we're not used to hearing it a lot of the time. We so used to it's almost like we've been desensitized to a point to what men are talking about, and now it's coming to this point where we have so many women coming through the door now. I mean, granted, you know, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and Megan Thee Stallion are pretty much kind of like the three people that are at the top, but a lot of people forget that there are a lot of smaller artists that are out there. Small, you know, people like Cash Dog, Cupid Dog, you know, and all these other people that are making this music now, and it's getting, you know, pushed out there, you know, a lot. So, you know, I think it's just different. You know, I think over some time, I think people will get used to it and they won't even mention it. You know, or if they do, it's gonna be one of those rare times where people.
My question for you
right now,
is,
there's so many people.
My question for you is, there has been artists that hasn't been so vulgar about, you know, sexuality, that's just been rapping, like battle rappers. Why do you think that women in the rap industry are leading towards being more vulgar with their sexuality because it sells? Or do you think they're, you know, kind of afraid of actually just rapping and not getting as much stardom from or clout from that song versus actually rapping? Because there's a lot of battle rappers that don't have nothing to do with, you know, sexuality in their raps and stuff like that in their verses, and they don't get as much light as, you know, the women who are embracing their sexuality and just being honest with their fans.
I wouldn't even say battle rappers. Like, you got Tierra Whack, you got you got Rhapsody, you got Kamaya, you got hella rappers. Like, it definitely is an influx. And I said this in my freaking review of WAP, but it got taken down to copyright. But honestly, Cardi B definitely opened the door and made it cool for labels to sign women, because prior to that, we only had Nicki. But before that, we had Trina, we had
Kaya.
Police, we had Kaya, we had Queen Latifah, Lil' Kim, Angie Martinez. We had MC like
Foxy Brown.
Foxy Brown. Like, we had Lauryn Hill. Like, they all talked about sex too. The Brat, she talked about sex, but she did it in a witty way. Like, so I agree, but it's just I just think it's wordplay, it's language. And I feel like now people are definitely more like boom, blah, blah, boom in your face with it. And that may make, you know, men or whoever uncomfortable. But I feel like it's so many other women out here who don't talk about that, but nobody supports them. I mean, even what's her name? That girl, no name. Like, there's so many rappers out here who don't talk about that. Rico Nasty, like, she is such a diverse artist. She don't talk about just sex, but are y'all listening to her?
Right.
You know?
That's a fact.
I listen to Rico Nasty, so I can.
Yeah, I know you do,
vouch for her.
but I'm talking about as a general, as a whole.
Yeah, I know.
Y'all not supporting them.
Yeah. Also, I think it's funny, like, if you don't like something, or if you know you're not going to like something, then don't watch it. Like, I saw this one politician, I don't know his name, but he was like, oh, I accidentally clicked on the WAP video and I saw the whole thing. Sir, even if you did accidentally click, you could have clicked, and then, you know, YouTube be having ads anyway, so like, you could have like clicked out before they even got to the whole video. So you accidentally clicked and you watched the whole 4 minutes, 12 seconds, however long it was. Come on, man, you wanted to watch the video. So like, I feel like if you know you're not gonna like something, just don't watch it, bro. Like, you're bashing someone on Twitter for what? Especially if you're a congressman, you got bills to pass, you got things to do. Give me my stimulus check. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's bigger things that you could be worrying about than the WAP video. Like, come on, man. Stop it. Accidentally. Yeah. I can't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, to answer your question though, going back, and which I agree with you, Eric, on what you were saying about the politician, but like, I think that there are some women that are doing the music to sell, like, just to, because it's popular, and I know people are going to eat this up. But I also think there are people who genuinely are just talking about their experiences. So I don't believe Cardi B and like Megan Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj. I don't have a reason, or like there's nothing that they ever said outside of their music where I could be like, yeah, they just doing this just to push a narrative, or I guess what they call propaganda or something like that. I just don't get that from them. I think it's genuinely them like talking about it because this has been their experience. I do think that I do wish and hope one day that maybe the people who are, a lyrical miracle, I hope they are able to, get their platform like, up to there, because sex does sell. But I think also people should, have a daily dosage of conscious music and stuff like that.
A balance.
I don't know. I hope that answers your question, but yeah, like a balance.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Like, hey, and if you want to hear these artists, repost them, talk about them, go to their shows, support their stuff. Like, it's real simple.
Yeah.
I listen to all those artists, but hey, when WAP come on in the club,
girl, you hear me?
When WAP come on, got kickbacks.
Do you hear me?
Do
you hear me?
Hey, it's a song for each situation. Ain't no way to be listening to no conscious music in the club.
Yeah.
You saw how powerful City Girls was when they came out. They
really
the game.
Like,
yes.
And I feel like
and I appreciate stuff like that because it gives us like an insight of like, we're not from Florida, so it gives us an insight of like how South Florida is, like Miami, like the music that they listen to, the vibe that they get. Like, it just puts you in a different, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just amazing. It's music that we never thought that we would get right now because we never really thought that women can really take over the game like they're doing right now, and they really are.
Yeah. And now more than ever is a time to support a woman. And I really like how like Atlanta is supporting Mulatto. Like 21 Savage posted her, Lil Baby, all that. Like, they are very supportive of their artists. So it's really cool to see them like take her under their wings. Like Gucci did the whole song with her. So yeah, I feel like you can't beat them, join them. And that's a very good example of what Cardi B did. Like, she not only did the song with Megan, but she put those girls on her platform as well. Them, like, and in my mind, they're all like misfits. Like, they're not the like, the most conscious girls, but it was a great balance of all of it. So yeah, you can't beat them, and just, if you don't like it, keep pushing. That's why it's block stuff. That's why the block button was created.
City Girls, they remind me of, because how Jessica was saying on the whole idea of like the City Girls opening up a perspective to who Florida is or whatever. Magnolia Shardy from like New Orleans or that Louisiana scene. That reminds me of that, because that music, that bounce music, is so different than anything that a lot of us hear on a regular basis. So of course Drake did a nod to that in that one song, which was featuring the city one of the City Girls, right?
I think they both was on there.
Yeah,
okay,
they both
all right,
was on there.
cool, yeah. So they was, what I'm saying? You see how that blends together, what I'm saying? Drake really smart, man. That boy got the Midas touch. But anyway, we ain't gonna talk about
that.
All y'all Drake stands. I love
Drake, but he did not credit that bounce artist on that song.
Big Frida?
Oh
yeah.
Big Frida.
He did Frida dirty, and
but
I was not.
He fixed it though. Didn't he?
After the fact,
yeah, it was after the fact.
But I'm like, come on now, you can't use his whole voice on there and not,
And
but that's That's the thing for a whole.
That's probably.
By the way, I don't have nothing against that. What you saying? I definitely should get the credit for sure.
Yeah.
Got to be fair on that one.
Yeah. Well, this was a beautiful conversation.
Hey.
Everybody enjoy. Definitely leave your comments and your thoughts about women embracing sexuality in song or just real life down below. We would love to know your thoughts. And I'm gonna link all their social medias down below, so you be sure to support them. And thank you guys for supporting Rare Radar.
Yay.
Bye.
Yeah, talk to you guys later.
Peace and blessings.
Hang your coat for this wet ass pussy. He bought a phone just for pictures of this wet ass pussy. Pay my tuition just to kiss me on this wet ass pussy. Now make it rain.